Hello and welcome back, and in today's video we're going to be looking at another square for our spring summertime flower blanket. So I haven't decided what we're calling it yet, so if you've got any ideas let me know. So this is going to be our next square, so that's how it looks on this camera. I'll bring it down here so you can have a look down here. I will have to adjust the light slightly. I don't know what's going on with my lighting today, but it's all over the shop. So here's the square that we're working on today. This is called, well, it's a Filet Crochet Square. Filet Crochet Square, Filet Crochet Square. So it's a basic square. It's kind of it starts with a basic square with a little bit of filet, and then we're finishing off with our basic solid granny square. So that's what we're going to do today. And to do that, we are going to need a crochet hook. I am continuing with my 4mm. Which I am sure I have bent, and I'm not sure how I've managed to do that, but it doesn't quite feel right. Pair of scissors, bent tip tapestry needle to weave in the ends as per, and at one point I will be using stitch marker just to mark off some stitches. I'm just going to move. For round one, we're going to start off with a magic circle. And as I have said, you can of course start with a chain 4. I will show you what a chain 4 start will look like. So you start with a slip knot and you chain 4, and then you join with the first into the first chain with a slip stitch, and there you have your circle. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to show you this, but there are actually 2 holes there. You got one here and then one here, and one here and one here, and here. And you would want to work into this hole here, the bottom one, not the top one. So you would then go into there, and then that's how you would do your carry on from that point. I don't know why I did single crochets. We're not using single crochets just yet. We are going to, in my case, we are going to start with, I'm going to carry on the same way I have done, just to ensure consistency across everything. And I'm going to start off with that's a chain 4. And then I'm going to do 3 double crochets into the loop. And I already need some more yarn, and I'm going to chain 3, and I'm going to do 3 double crochets again, another 3, there you go, and then chain 3, and then 3 double crochets, chain 3, and then I only need 2 double crochets at this point. I'm going to find my tail end. I'm going to pull up on there, which closes that circle, and I'm going to come here, and as you can see we've got this one chain here, which is our original starting chain, and I'm going to put a slip stitch in there, and that's at the second chain up. So now we've got a chain space here, chain space here, chain space here, and a chain space here. I'm now going to slip stitch over to that chain space, and then I'm going to do 2 single crochets, 1 and 2. Now I'm going to hold my yarn there, and I'm going to get my stitch marker, and I'm going to put that stitch marker in that first single crochet. Just holding that spot because I need to find that stitch later to be able to crochet into later. So I just need to make sure I can find that spot later on. And then we are going to do a chain 2, and then we're going to do another 2 single crochets into that space. Now if you move your work around a bit, you will find this stitch just here. We're going to do 1 single crochet into there, 1 into the next one, 1 into the next one, and then we're going to want to put 2 in our chain space. We're going to chain 2, and we're going to put 2 in our chain space. Now I will zoom the camera in.
Extreme close up! Wah! Wah! Wah!
To the right of this post, there is this little hole just there. That's where you want to put your first stitch in. And then your next one goes in the top of that stitch as you would normally do, and your next one goes in the top of that stitch as you would normally do. And then we're going to do 2 in the chain space, chain 2, turn the work, do 2 in the chain space, and then if you look just there, that's where we're going to put in that stitch. I'm going to zoom out now because I might make some of you sick with my hands moving around too quickly. Two single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets, and now we need to get 3 more in here. So we've got 1 in here, 1 in here, and then 1. This one can be a little bit fiddly because you're actually working into your chain space, into your chain, so you might need to fiddle around with that one a bit. And then you need to slip stitch into the one with your stitch marker in. If you've used a stitch marker, it's your first single crochet. I'm now going to remove that stitch marker because we don't need it anymore. And then I'm going to slip stitch over to the chain 2 space, just like that. A chain 3, which is the equivalent to a double crochet, and then another one which is going to be our chain space. Then we're going to do another double crochet into that space, then we're going to do a chain 1, and then this is where our filet crochet starts to appear. So we're going to skip this next stitch, and then we're going to put 1 into this next one. So skip 1, then put a double crochet in the next, and then chain 1. Skip a stitch, put a double crochet in the next one, chain 1. Skip a stitch, double crochet in the next one, and chain 1. Skip a stitch and a double crochet in the next one, which in this case should be our chain 1, our corner space. We're then going to do a double crochet. We're going to do a chain 2 and then another double crochet in that corner space, chain 1, skip a stitch, and then go and work a double crochet into the next one, chain 1, skip a stitch, work a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 1, skip a stitch, we're going to skip this stitch and then work a double crochet into the next one, chain 1, and then we're going to do one final stitch in our chain space. We're going to chain 2, do another double crochet in that space, and then we're going to repeat that pattern around again. We're going to do a chain 1, skip our first stitch, and a double crochet. so we're on our last stitch, and I'm just going to do a slip stitch to the top of that chain 3, sorry, in the third chain of the chain 4, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the space. So I'm going to pop that down so you can have a look. There is our filo, or fillet even, filo is a pastry in it, our fillet crochet. And then we're going to start our next round, which is going to be round 4. So to start this, we are going to do a chain 3, which is going to be for our double crochet. Then we're going to do another chain 3, which is going to be for our chain 2, and then and that's going to be our space. And then I'm going to do another double crochet in that space. I'm going to do another double crochet in that space, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to work into each stitch and each chain stitch across. So I'm going to start off by doing one in the first stitch, which is just here. So I'm going to work a double crochet into there, and a double crochet in the space, double crochet in the stitch, and a double crochet in the space. And I'm going to work that all the way across to our corner. And then I'm going to put in 2 double crochets into that corner space. And I'm just going to double check that I've got that correct. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Perfect. We want 13 stitches across, so that's spot on. I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to put 2 double crochets into that corner space. And then once again, I'm going to work a double crochet in each stitch and each chain stitch across. Oh, this pattern's got so many, like, I keep getting tongue-tied in this pattern. So again, at the end of each side of this square, you should end up with 13 stitches. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Chain 2, 2 stitches in the corner, and then 1 in each stitch and each chain space. And in case you're confused about where the stitch goes when you're working in the stitch, when you're working on the right side of the work, the correct side is facing you, you would always work into the right hand side of the stitch. I'll do a close-up so you can see what I mean by that. So let's just zoom in. I lay this down just here. Now, I'm just about to work 1 into this space. And then once I've worked that 1 into that space, it's going to look like I've already got a stitch there. But I actually need to put 1 in this one here. And to find that, you just look to the right of it and it will be just there. So when you're working on the right side of the work, you look to the right hand side of that stitch, you will be able to find that stitch just there. So I'm going to do a double crochet in that space, and then just there is where I'm going to put in the next one. Again to the right hand side in the chain space, and then to the right hand side, and then I'm going to put two in, also I'm going to put one in the corner space because we've already got one there, which is part of our chain 3. I will zoom out for the next bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I've only got 11 stitches there. How have I done that? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, put that up. 11. Okay, so I've made a mistake there. So I'm just going to put another 2 in. It's not the end of the world. It'll be fine. Our 5th and final row. And to do this, we're going to start with a chain 3. And then I'm going to do another double crochet in that space. I've just learnt my lesson. I'm going to do a chain 2 for a space. And I'm going to do a 2 double crochets in that space. And then basically what I'm going to do now is part of the solid granny square. So I'm literally just going to do a double crochet in every stitch across. So I should have 13 stitches. I'm going to do a stitch in each of those 13 stitches. Then I'm going to do 2 double crochets, chain 2, 2 double crochets. So let's have a go at doing that. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 and 13, and then I'm going to put 2 in the chain 2 space. I'm going to chain 2 and put in another 2 into that chain 2 space, and then I'm going to do 13 across. Now I don't think you need to sit and watch me do all of this, so I will probably speed this up for you. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13. Why is that so wrong? I don't think it is actually, it just looks it. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fudge this one as well. See, don't do as I do. Isn't that thing? Don't do as I do, do as I say. Isn't that the phrase? And then that is your square done. I'm going to trim off our yarn. And there we go. Thanks very much for watching today's video and for making the square along with me. Next week we will be back with another square. In the meanwhile, check out one of these two videos up here. One will probably be a crochet along, and down here will probably be, what should I put in there today? I'll put something in there. I'll put something different in there this time. How about the crochet and chat videos? I'll put crochet and chat video up here and crochet along video up here. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave your comments in the box below, and while you're at it, click that subscribe button. And I will see you next time. Bye.